Bloomington Parks and Recreation and the Council for Community Accessibility unveiled a new tactile map at Switchyard Park on Friday, June 13th, 2025. The map is located north of the Pavilion and west of the Beeline Trail. Special guests included Mayor Kerry Thomson, Marche Daughtry, and Parks and Recreation Administrator Tim Street.
All right. Good afternoon, everybody. It's just afternoon. Happy Friday. I'm so thrilled we can be out here and that it is not raining on us currently. I hope that will stay true while we get to unveil our tactile map. My name is Tim Street. I'm the director of Bloomington Parks and Recreation. It is my pleasure to just be able to welcome you to Switchyard Park here today and to kick off our events for unveiling this new tactile map. Something that is very important for our department is that we create park spaces, trails, facilities, and programs that are welcoming to everybody. This tactile map came about when we were planning some accessibility and inclusion related projects about a year and a half ago, and we were able to put that into our budget, along with a number of other accessibility improvements we're working on in parks right now, including if you go by Building Trades Park right now, you might see that there's a new path and a new shelter going in. We replaced an old ramp that wasn't very accessible there. Here at Switchyard, we've purchased a new accessible golf cart to help people get around for events and things like that. And a whole number of other things that we have going on that are really exciting. But I'm always very excited when we can make our parks more welcoming and inclusive. And today is a great step for that. It is our first tactile map that we have here in Bloomington. And it is just a great example of universal design, which just is design that can be used by anybody. So that is something we really strive for in our park system. We want to continue to exemplify and to make happen. I just want to say a few thanks to a few folks here today. One, to the Community Council on Accessibility. Michael Shermis is here in the CFRD department for the city. Thank you for the support. We've been able to work very closely with the council on a number of these improvements to make sure we're doing things the right way and that we have really good input. And we really appreciate the people who serve on that council and support the work that we're doing and help us make things better. I also want to thank our staff, of course, for always putting on great events. In particular, I'd like to thank Sean Marler. Somewhere, oh, there he is. He's behind the tree. Sean is our general manager of Switchyard Park and rec facilities. And from when this project was conceptualized and budgeted, he really took it on and worked with a company called Touch Graphics, who is kind of an industry leader in creating these maps. To create our new map. So I am now going to turn it over to Marche Daughtry, and she is going to say a few things about her experience and her role on the Community Council on Accessibility. So I'm going to bring the mic over, Marche.
People hear me? Yay, okay. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm Marche Daughtry. I'm a member of the City of Bloomington's Council for Community Accessibility. We are a volunteer group that advocates for the interests of people with disabilities. And one of the ways we do this is when city departments consult with the CCA. This tactile map that you'll see is an example of that. I was really excited to have been consulted first with the vendor choices to make the map, and then I was also consulted to review physical drafts of the map a few times. It was really great to have my feedback taken into account during the process. So I'd love to thank Parks and Rec for consulting with us on this project. I do also enjoy working with the city on various other projects. For instance, the engineering department, they recently asked myself and another blind person to go out with them to review different tactile indicators. And we were able to tell them which ones worked better for people who are blind when we're navigating with canes. And these opportunities to work with various city departments on the built environment has been a rewarding experience for me. And I want to thank the city departments for continuing to work with the CCA, and I really hope to see more collaborations continue. And I'll just say sort of one last thing before I kind of end. which is that it's really cool to be able to know this park in a way I've never been able to before. And throughout looking at the drafts, there were so many things I learned that were here that I had no idea were here. I didn't realize there were a big dog park and a small dog park. I had no idea. What's bocce ball? Apparently we have a court. Pickleball, what's that? I don't know, but apparently we have a court for that too. There's a splash pad. Who knew? I didn't. And it's really great to not only know that these things exist, but to know where they are. And so I feel confident that I could come here on my own and navigate the park and find anything I needed, including the bathrooms, which is really important. So that's a really cool thing, and I'm so happy to have worked with Parks and Rec on this, and thank you, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the map.
Thank you, Marche. That was wonderful. Thank you for sharing your experience and your expertise and helping others through that. I'm now going to welcome up Mayor Kerry Thomson for a few words.
Well, I don't know that I have anything more powerful to say than what Marche just shared with us. Marche, let me just start by thanking you for volunteering for the city, both on the commission, but also by sharing extra time to help us find ways to welcome more people into more spaces. And that's what this really is about. We love our iconic Switchyard Park and that all that it has to offer, but you shouldn't have to have a body that is close to perfect to do it, right? Because who has one of those? No one. So I am just so deeply proud of our Parks Department and the way that they have collaborated with our Community and Family Resources Department, engineering, etc. And as Tim mentioned, we have lots and lots of different things going on at the parks to make sure that we can welcome everyone. And creating a community where everyone belongs and everyone truly feels welcome, and that we can remove barriers, barriers of discomfort, but also barriers that just plain prevent people from getting into places. That should be our priority, because parks and libraries and spaces like that are the spaces in communities where we can gather outside of work and home to meet people, to encounter people we may not have otherwise had the chance to meet, and really to build bridges, which are too rarely built in today's world. And so it's critically important to me that that places like parks are really not only accessible, but they're welcoming and they're safe for all people. And so kudos to Tim and crew, and also my thanks to Michael for his leadership on the council and always being available and eager to take that next connection of somebody who has an idea about how to make our city more accessible. I'm thrilled for today because I love Switchyard, but I also love all of our parks. And as Tim mentioned, we have improvements that have happened at Banneker and at the Jukebox, and at Buildings and Trades, at Cascades. We're doing trail improvements. We're putting in concrete so that folks who use wheelchairs can make it places where they otherwise couldn't. The innovation of a boardwalk to our popular waterfall at Cascades, and just simple things like adding a power door so somebody can enter a building are things that our Parks Department is thinking deeply about. So kudos to the team and to the council for all of the insight and advice that you were able to offer. And I'm going to turn it back to Tim so we can all see this awesome thing.
Okay, just a final word, and I realize I didn't say this from the get-go, but what is a tactile map? We didn't really talk about that. And, you know, basically we talked about universal design, meaning we're designing something that can be used by anybody, right? So whether you have full vision, you have a vision impairment, whatever it is, you're able to use this map in the same way. As you'll see in a second, and we're going to unveil it, and I invite everyone to come up and take a closer look. But it has the words, it has the braille with the words, but importantly, you can also feel the contours and the different features of the park. And one cool detail that Sean pointed out to me that Touch Graphics included too is, you've got the overpass where the beeline goes over Grimes over here. You can actually feel the trail go up and over Grimes, which is really cool. So very hands-on thing to come explore here in just a second. So I'm going to invite up Marche. You're already here. We'll just back up a little bit to it. We're going to unveil this and take a photo. And Mayor, come on up. Sean, come on up. And anyone else from the CCA that wants to come up, come on up. We'll unveil it and we'll take a photo.
Pull it off.
Pull it your direction. Yep.
Okay.
Big tablecloth. There we go. There we go.
For full details about the tactile map unveiling, visit bloomington.in.gov/news/2025/06/03/6279.